Hello, my fellow Ripplers. This is Chris Miles, your cash flow expert and anti-financial advisor. Welcome to a show that's for you, those that work so hard for your money. And you're now ready for your money to start working harder for you today. Why? Because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You want your money to work for you so you can have that life and that freedom now to buy your time back so you can live that life that you love with those that you love. But it's not just about getting rich, it's about living a rich life. Because as you're blessed financially, as you have greater wealth and ability, you have a greater capacity to bless the lives of those around you. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. Thank you for tuning into our podcast. I appreciate so much for those of you that have not only been listening to this, but you've been applying the concepts in here. You've been binging, you've been sharing this with others. Thank you, by the way, to our wonderful handyman. He's actually been referring several of you guys to this podcast. Thank you so much for doing so already. Hey, guys, if you don't want to have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest and then create passive income, but you want to do something now, a great thing to look into if you want to get your money to pay you twice, not once, but twice. Check out infinite banking on our website at moneyripples.com and see how that works. Watch the videos and watch your mind get blown as you see how that works in your life to help you create greater wealth and faster income today.
Chris Miles was able to retire twice by the time he was 39 years old. But he's not content to just enjoy his own financial freedom and peace of mind. Chris wants you to have your own ripple effect so you can live free today. He's not the financial advisor you expected. He's the anti-financial advisor you deserve. He's jumping behind the mic right now, ready to make waves. Here's Chris Miles.
All right. So I want to really kind of be real with you guys right now. I want to kind of get more real about, but really two comments that I got in the last 24 hours. And, I know that many of you guys, if you've been listening to the show long enough, you know that I mean well, that I care deeply about this. This is why I haven't retired, right? Even if I can retire and have the ability to retire twice now, by the time I was 39, still I keep going. And I had a few comments that really I thought this would be good to address because it might seem like on the outside, I hate financial advisors. It might seem like, Dave Ramsey, I think is the most disgusting human being on the planet. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. The truth is that actually all these people are great people. I would say 90% of financial advisors really truly deeply care about you or about the people, their clients in general. And there's the 10%, of course, that just do it for money. But I really believe that the vast majority of financial advisors really want to do what's best. This is also true, I think, with Dave Ramsey. I think Dave Ramsey has some amazing stuff, especially for those that need him. Those are the people, the ones that are the spendaholics, right? The ones that have, or just getting started out in life, they don't know how to really manage their money. They need like this basic remedial type of instruction to help them get started and get a good path. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about this, and in fact, I'm going to share with you just like on a YouTube. There's like a little conversation thread that I had going, and this goes along with someone I know that's actually been looking to our company as well. His wife said, "Oh, I don't like what he said about mortgage brokers. He said that mortgage brokers are broker than you and I are." That's not true. It was never mortgage brokers. I love them. I was talking about financial advisors and those that are brokers. And I quote Robert Kiyosaki when he says, like in the books, his Rich Dad Poor Dad series, he says that brokers are called that because they're broker than you and I are, right? The point is that many financial advisors actually aren't out of the rat race either. They're not able to retire without the commission they earn off of your retirement accounts. So I want to go into this one right here because this is actually based on a Dave Ramsey video. And when I talk about where he's teaching you to do something different. Okay, so you can see here, this is the advice that Dave Ramsey won't give you, but I will. There's my little air quotes there for you. Wow, that's a great freeze frame, isn't it? So I was talking about like what got Dave Ramsey to be wealthy, and it's not what he's teaching you about paying off your debt and saving in mutual funds, right? That's not what he did to create wealth. Well, it's interesting. This comment that came here, this guy said, right here at Missouri 6014. He says, why are you on YouTube fashion Dave Ramsey? If it was that easy, you would be on a yacht someplace. I think you get my point. Oh, Missouri 6014, I get your point. Yes. Why am I on here doing this stuff on YouTube, getting paid basically nothing on YouTube to produce these videos to tell you, here's what I see as truth. So here's my reply. Why am I not on a yacht? Why am I doing this? Like, why am I even talking to you guys about this stuff and beating into your brain over and over that mutual funds stink, that alternative investments are a better way to go if you want freedom, especially within the next century, right? My response was, well, my family isn't into yachts. My wife actually gets motion sickness too easy, which is actually really true. She cannot be on a boat at all. We can't even do a cruise. Okay. I said it's kind of a bummer. On top of that, I do these videos because the bad advice out there pisses me off. Yes, it would be easier if I just chilled all the time, but God put me on this planet for more than just sitting on a yacht, and I really truly believe that. I believe that, yes, I can just go and sit back, live a very quiet, peaceful life, which, by the way, I don't mind. But I believe that if I have money and resources and I have this knowledge and ability to teach you, why should I sit back and do nothing? I think that God put me on this planet to do more than just sit around and be comfortable. I think we all have a purpose. We have something we can give back. This is kind of legacy that I choose to give. Put more context behind this quote. He says, I love this. So did God tell you to bash a fellow believer like Dave? Um, what I really want to say was, oh yeah, God told me to do it. Dang it, but I didn't. So what I said is, I said Jesus did all the time with the Pharisees and Sadducees, and I'm not bashing his belief in God, am I? Because that's true. I actually really respect his belief in God. I'm bashing the financial strategies that he teaches, but didn't do to become financially wealthy. He teaches great things about budgeting, consumer debt, etc. But to convince people that they can have freedom saving in high risk, mediocre returning mutual funds that he didn't even do himself, that's not cool with me. And that right there, guys, that is the crux, right? That is really why I'm here. Heck, that's even why I'm teaching about infinite banking. Like I mentioned here at the beginning of this episode, the only reason, like the second kind of my retirement, right, where I came out to bring out something new, the main reason that we do infinite banking with our company is because even the people I trusted still didn't do the best for you. And that ticked me off, right? It ticks me off that people, advisors and everything, and I get it, everybody has their own self interest. But when that self interest, in my opinion, clashes with your interest, which should come first, there is a problem. Now, you might argue and say, well, Chris, you're not thinking abundantly. I'm okay with these people making money. Guess what? So am I. I'm totally okay with it. But what I'm not okay with is giving something to somebody that's not the best. That is one of our core principles in our company that if anybody on our team doesn't give the best, they're not on our team anymore, right? If they're not doing the best for our clients, they're gone. And that's not insensitive because I actually don't want to fire anybody. I'm a horrible person when it comes to that. But that's a non-negotiable, something that just is not allowed. Okay. And so, yes, when I see financial advisors out there and they're teaching stuff, and I'll tell you, for the most part, it's not the financial advisor's fault. No more is it the fault of somebody who works at a dairy company producing milk, right? Even though all the ads say milk does a body good, right? Got milk, remember all those ads, especially growing up, they're not as prevalent as they are today, today as they were back then. But you remember when people always said, "Well, milk does a body good. It gives you strong bones and muscles," and you see the picture of the kid flexing in the mirror, and of course the beautiful woman, and the beautiful girl that he's talking to, and eventually gets big and strong to try to get her attention because he's drinking milk all the time. Only to find out later that now milk has caused major inflammation in all of us as a society today. We become obese, not strong bones, but now just strong flab. It's created all kinds of issues for people, right? It wasn't that milk did a body good. It was all marketing from who? The Dairy Association. Now, again, I'm not opposed to them having it. I love dairy. Ice cream is one of my loves. But to then tell people, this is what you're going to get, sell the dream. This is what your life's going to be like because it's got calcium and we add vitamins A and D to it. Oh, but by the way, it's pretty much going to hurt you and going to make your life miserable later on. That's not cool with me. Financial advising is no different. Financial advising is taught to financial advisors by the financial institutions. I know this because I was one. All of the training that we got came from our quote unquote product providers. These product providers came from those companies. It could be like the US Alliances of the world, right? It could be the Goldman Sachs, the Merrill Lynches. Everybody has been trying to get us to sell products. When you get a license as a financial advisor, you do not have a license to create wealth for people. You have a license to sell. That's it. Even if you say you're an investment advisor, still you're advising based on the products you can offer them and sell them. You understand where that could go wrong. Because pretty soon, and just so you know, not all companies are the same. It's not like a standard thing that companies pay the same amount. Some companies will pay advisors more than others. This is just like in the medical industry where pharmaceutical companies, now there's a lot more regulations today because of it, where pharmaceutical companies started getting a bad rap because they were trying to financially incentivize doctors, and there's still a little bit of those kickbacks involved, even though it's more regulated than it was before. But still, how do you trust that product A, even though it might be better for you, still they give you product B because there's maybe a little bit better incentive for the doctor. Just like in financial advising, if product A is the better fit, but still product B is a decent fit, it still works. It's nothing that's illegal or unethical. It's just not the best. And they do that because it pays more. Just so you know, this happens in the life insurance world. Ticks me off. There are people that I respect in this industry, and still, I know the companies they use because I'm appointed with those same companies. I know the numbers I can get with those companies, and I know it's subpar, yet they'll still offer it. Why? Because they have the better trips, they pay higher commission rates. I can't tell you how many times those companies have said, "Hey, we'll pay you more, Chris. If you came over and did the same production you do with these other companies you did with us, you would get paid more than the companies you're with." And I said, "Here's one thing you got to do: beat that company. If you can beat them legitimately, you can allow me to be able to find ways to manipulate the product that you have to be able to be better for my client. I will sell your stuff all day long. I don't care if you even pay me more. Don't give a crap." Because the truth is that we're investors first and foremost anyways. I've got investment income coming in. I don't need your money. I need you to do the best job for my client. That's what I look for an insurance company. But most insurance companies, they just go right back to, that's just Chris. We got this whole other bunch of agents that will much love to be able to be incentivized by our commission percentages that we pay. That to me is not cool. So again, I know that even these people, even the guys that choose this, they still intend well. They still will say, they're like, it's good enough. It's good. It still gives them a good policy. And it's true. They might get a good life insurance policy, but is it the best? No. Same thing in the investing world. When I talk about creating passive income, I know for a fact those can do a better job. Does it mean that they're risk free? Heck no. There's always risk in investing, right? But if I'm going to bet for myself and my own life, and it doesn't mean you have to follow what I do because I'm not giving you any advice or recommendations here. But for me in my own life, I've seen the evidence, and I've seen the evidence based on being a financial advisor over the course of 4 years, meeting with lots of clients, also meeting with clients that have had financial advice for decades before they came to me and seeing the results. I seen the results happen in my dad's life and what happened when he did everything that guys like Dave Ramsey, everything like financial advisors have taught. Stuff the money in 401k, get debt free. And what do we find? We find, oh shoot, I'm sitting down with them. I'm saying, if you try to retire now, you've got 5 years left and then your money's gone, right? That's not what I want. That's not what I want for you. And I want you to have to put your life and defer your life. I mean, imagine you believe, if you believe this, and maybe you do, and maybe you don't. Maybe you've listened to the show enough, you know that the traditional saving in mutual funds and paying off your debt just doesn't do enough, right? But maybe you do believe this and you sacrifice, you suffer, you suck that money away, you put it away for that rainy day, and not just rainy day, but rainy retirement, right? You're putting that money away religiously as much as you possibly can just to make sure that you can have potentially a comfortable enough retirement to pay your bills. You defer your life. You defer spending a lot of time with your family more than you want. You might be overworking yourself, all in hopes that that sacrifice will pay off someday, right? You even tell your family, hey, you know what? We won't do that trip now, but we'll do that trip later. And I know some of you guys still do your trips and still do your stuff, but you still know that there's passions you want to pursue. Maybe things that you want to do from a standpoint of giving back to the community. Maybe it's a service related thing. Maybe it's being able to help out more in the very causes or beliefs that you have to be able to move that forward, just like I'm doing with you right now. Maybe you want to do the same thing. But again, you say, you know what? I just gotta put my head down. I just gotta make this work, put as much money as I can away, and then I'll be able to live that life free. Then I'll be able to do the things that I want. Yet, what would happen if just now, decades down the road, you've done that only to find out it wasn't enough? What if you went and sacrificed so much only to find out that then you passed away early? Of course, if you did, I mean, it'd be like, boom, it's gone. That's it. But maybe like your life came to a abrupt halt. Maybe you end up getting terminal cancer. Heaven forbid, of course. I'm not wanting to attract that into your life, but I want you to just really think about this. What if you don't get to live those extra 10, 20, 30 years to even enjoy it? What would that really do? You might say, well, I can pass it on to my family. Yeah, but if you put it in those traditional plans, a lot of them get taxed through the ringer. They get Uncle Sam gets paid before your family gets paid. You got all that stuff happening. You deferred and delayed your life. You delayed living so that someday you could have a life. What if you could make that life today? That is what I want for you. That's what I want to give you back. That's my gift to you, is that by doing these things, you can get it back. I mean, if it were really just my money for us, like, trust me, there are so many more things we could do to make a lot more money in our company. Okay. I mean, for example, when we bring on clients, those that we consult from a standpoint of how to help them strategize and connect them with passive investing deals and things like that. When we connect them with that kind of stuff and help them strategize, figure out where the money can come from that they can use to invest, when we're doing that, we don't bring on any clients unless we know for a fact they'll make more than what they pay us, especially in that first year or so, right? We want them to make more. So it's not like whatever they pay us, all of that goes to just, paying us, all the money they make in passive income. Although that's not a bad thing, especially if they're making that year after year after year. No, I mean, ideally, I want people to come in like making about 1.5 to 2 times the amount in that first year or so that they can actually make that money back and then some. And then it's all gravy anyways. That's always my goal, right? Is I want people to really, it makes sense. Even though, yes, we could sell a ton of people and sell them on hopium and dreams and things like that. And hey, if you do this for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, watch your life. It'll be so much better. And it will be. But that's not what we want. We want immediate results. Now, just so you know, when I say immediate, it probably means like you probably wouldn't even make your first investment for at least the first 2 or 3 months. And even then, it might be 6, 12 months before you're really starting to see that payments coming in. And then you'll say, okay, now based on what I'm getting in on a monthly, or quarterly basis, or annual basis, it's now exceeding far what I paid them. But the thing is, like, again, we always want you to get those best results. We want you to be able to do that because it's about your life. It's about what is able to really create that ripple effect through you and allow you to get those real results, right? That's why I'm so freaking anal about results. I do not like it when people don't get results. I take it personally. That's why we don't even want to bring on people unless we know they're going to do something with that information they have, that they're actually going to take action, have faith. I'll tell you, our best clients, I think of like I won't say the couple's name, but they know who they are. But they're our program, and they're willing to they're willing to question things, which I love. Like, they're willing to think about it. They don't just brainlessly accept whatever we say, but they really understand the principles. And then they say, great, what are the strategies that can fit with that? We've discussed all the different types of strategies. And then they go and they act accordingly. They act with whatever strategies feel the best for them. And they're willing to take that faith and do it. Those are the people that get results. Those are the people that are happy. The ones that like overthink it, the ones that just say, well, I don't know, which we try to screen you out beforehand, right? If you're all wishy-washy, it's not going to work. We don't want to be wasting your time or ours, right? But notice that things that we teach, the things that I teach, align with what I tell people to do. When I tell people your best economic engine right now is your income, your source of income, whether it's through your business or your job. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, you got to put your money in the stock market, do this, do that. If a financial advisor was truly aligned with what they do in their lives, they would say, you should probably become a financial advisor because you'll make more as a financial advisor than you will listening to me. That's the truth. You can make a lot more commissions. You get paid that steady stream of income for those assets under management. You get paid each and every year, whether your clients make money or not. Your clients could be losing money, and you're the one person that gets paid. Does that sound right to you? It's kind of a questionable kind of think about it. Ethically, it's a little bit questionable, isn't it? That's part of the reason why I left. My integrity was being shaken because I realized I get paid whether they make money or not. I get paid even if somebody doesn't get that dream that I sold them after, say, 30 or 40 years. I saw that future. I saw what people's trajectory was based on the trajectory of people that were great, great savers, just like my father was. And then still, it quote unquote wasn't enough. And the financial advisors will blame you, not you blame them. They'll blame you for just not saving enough, even though you might have said back in the day, oh, he's just save $100 a month, save 10%, and you'll be fine. Only to find out you got to save 40 or 50% to be able to make up for their bad performance of their mutual funds. That to me is what bugs me so much about the industry is that it doesn't align. You make money first and foremost in your career. That's where you make money first. And then you take that extra cash, then use that to invest. And the best way, in my opinion, to do that is to go into passive investments invested in real assets, not arbitrary stocks and things like that, but real assets. Going back to that guy that was getting mad at me about ripping on Dave Ramsey, my only point was this is that Dave Ramsey, if you follow what he's done, he made money in two places. His business, first and foremost, he's made hundreds of millions of dollars in that business. And then two, he did it in real estate. Now he owns, admittedly, by his own admission, $600 million of real estate. He did those two things. That was a secret to wealth. What does he tell you to do? Get debt free and then invest your money in mutual funds. And maybe you'll make 12%, which is never done. And he still teaches that crap. That bugs me. People that flat out lie. Now you might ask, why does he do that? Because he's not a financial advisor. No, but he does profit from telling you to do things that financial advisors like, because then they'll refer to his show. And he gets paid a crap load of money by people doing Financial Peace University. And the banks love him because he teaches what the banks want you to believe versus what actually works for you. So the banks like to promote him. Everybody likes to promote him because of those things. He teaches what's popular. He teaches what you already believe to be true, and you just buy it hook, line, and sinker. You gotta, I know for you guys, it takes a great deal of faith to believe me. Because yeah, it's worked in my life. Yeah, sure, it's worked in a lot of our clients' lives. But still, it's not like what's commonly taught. Now, it's not taught. It's still common in the sense that I'm not the only voice out there, but I'm teaching from a place of experience. I'm teaching from a place of knowing what's truly created wealth for me and others versus what hasn't. I can assure you, you have a better odds of success if you do it right by buying real assets, especially when they give you cash flow and passive income. That's the difference. That's why we have people that say, "Man, I've got $300,000. If I pull out 3% a year, like my financial advisor says, that's 9,000 a year, $750 a month. That's not enough." But if you can take $300,000 and turn that into 30,000 a year and still keep your 300,000 intact to make money, that's a very different lifestyle. 30,000 a year or 2,500 a month is better than 750 a month, isn't it? That's the difference. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm preaching about infinite banking, getting max ROI possible, and why I often will refer to as no BS infinite banking because we don't BS you on it. Right? It's got to be something that truly aligns with what's out there. And what I would like to see happen in the financial industry is I would like them to actually do and teach what they're actually doing. It's not just preaching something, but actually following what they preach. Hey, you know what? If you're a financial advisor, tell them all to become financial advisors. That is a more sure way of creating more money. And just so you know, financial advisors can't retire either. If it weren't for those assets under management, they couldn't do it either because those mutual funds don't do enough for them. They need those streams of income. Insurance agents, yes, okay, cool. They set you up a policy, but are they really giving you the best? Maybe it's the best that they know, but are they really looking to do the best for their clients? I can already tell you 99 plus percent of the time, they don't, whether they don't know it or they just aren't willing to do it. And the worst one is the latter, the ones that know how to do it, but refuse to do it. Those are the ones that tick me off. That is why we're here to exist. That's why I'm not on a yacht. That's why I'm not just sitting back happy on a beach, sipping my pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. This is what I do because I want you to have that true life that we talk about at the beginning of the show, where you work because you want to, not because you have to. Your work optional. You show up to work and you love it, but you know that you're not trapped there. You could take time off and still be okay because your bills are covered by the passive income you have. And when you combine all of these strategies together, that is when you can do it not in 40, 50 years if you're lucky, but some of you this year. Very few of you, I would say that. Minority of you this year or the next year, you could probably be hitting that point. For most of you, still 5, 10, 15 years could be very realistic depending on your situation. So, anyways, I'm beating the dead horse. I just want you to know that I am here for this very purpose. I feel like I've been placed on this earth and I have been blessed financially. I've been blessed with experiences, including losing all my money and making it back again and making it more of it than what I lost. I believe I went through all of that for a reason, for a purpose, so that you could have hope. You could have hope of a better future. You can have a hope, a better future than what most retirees and most people right now are trying to figure out how to make it. And without Social Security, they'd be broke. With heck, even financial advisors without Social Security would probably be broke too. And so that's what I want you to be able to have a different life. Choose that for yourself. Don't have to listen to me. Don't even have to trust me, but test it for yourself. Prove it. Make it work in your own life. And then you'll be like me and say, holy cow, why didn't I see this before? I was a financial advisor, but I was blind to it because my pocketbook and the financial institutions taught me to do otherwise. They are the enemy, not the advisors, not even Dave Ramsey. It's the whole institution that's been teaching you that this is the way that pays them, but not you. That's what I want for you in this life. You can choose what to do with that information. Make it a wonderful, prosperous week. Let us know if you have any questions by going to moneyripples.com. We'll talk to you later.